If you haven't been under a rock, then you've definitely seen people play Five Nights at Freddy's Into the Pit. And if you have been living under a rock, you might be asking, what is it? Well, Five Nights at Freddy's Into the Pit is a 2D adventure horror game, like based on the novel from Fazbear Frights, the Fazbear Frights series. And it literally recently came out like August 7th. And where there's Five Nights at Freddy, there's lore. So without further ado, we're going to be reacting to Rextor, The Dark Truth About Oswald and His Father Explained. This is the whole lore behind it, man. So you know what, let's just get right into it.
Oswald and his father have a secret relation to Freddy's that we could have never imagined. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing some theories that could further back this. Not to mention, if you're a big Five Nights at Freddy's Into the Pit fan and you haven't got the chance to play it just yet, I'll be giving out 3 codes for the game. So make sure you watch this video from beginning to end to figure out exactly how you could win those codes. And shout out to Mega Cat Studios for providing them. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the first theory. So a lot of people believe that Oswald has ties to Freddy's that we never saw coming. So the game begins with Oswald literally drawing 2 important characters from Freddy's. Now originally upon seeing these characters, you'd believe that this is Freddy and Bonnie. And to be honest, I wouldn't blame you, but there's a key detail that many people have missed. As Oswald gets called away, notice the last thing that he was drawing was a button on the Bonnie-like animatronic. And now if you look closely at a picture of Bonnie here on screen, Bonnie does have a red bow tie, but what he doesn't have is that button. This is a key detail that I originally missed in my first playthrough, as I was looking so
Oh, now was it this animatronic right here? He was, no way. If this is what it is, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like his dad probably worked there or something. Or like, I don't know, like this is just so odd.
Closely at the Bonnie picture that I didn't realize something pops up on the screen right before Oswald leaves. And that key detail really changes a lot of the narrative, as it looks like Oswald previously knew about Spring Bonnie and his horrific acts. But let's continue on this theory for a second. In addition to drawing the button, he also has a bunch of question marks around both of the animatronics. However, when looking closely at Freddy's drawing, there's something else. Now, originally, I thought this could be Carl the Cupcake. And though it does look like a cupcake with a face on it, maybe it's something even more sinister. I think Oswald might have been getting down to the bottom of something. And that something is the disappearances at Freddy's. Without even knowing, his subconscious realizes that these
If y'all didn't know, right here,
and that something is the disappearances at Freddy's. Without even knowing, his subconscious realizes
this right here supposedly is literally all 5 of the children that are deceased because he killed them. That's basically what I got from this, like when I saw the gameplay of this.
That these animatronics are controlled by ghosts, and that is what I believe is X'd out on the Freddy drawing. Now let's take this theory even further. It is proven inside of the FNAF Into the Pit game that Oswald has no idea what Freddy's is, as when you fast forward into the game, Mike even makes fun of him not knowing about Fazbears. And once he goes back in time and sees the animatronics on the wall, that's when he notices that they look very similar to the ones that he draws. So now there obviously is proof that there's a connection between Oswald and Freddy's that he didn't even know. So let's deep dive into a couple of theories. One being that Oswald is just imagining the entire game. This theory is a good one.
I personally, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest, I generally thought this guy was just a schizophrenic psychopath. Oswald, bro, because how you gonna tell me the mother is looking at the dad and the dad looks perfectly normal, but to you Oswald, he looks like Spring Bonnie, whatever. That's not insane. Is that not insane? Like, come on. You know what you're doing, bro. He's either insane or this is really what happened to him.
But I don't know if I believe it just yet, but I'll go ahead and give some background information. Oswald is obviously living a life of disparity ever since the mill closed down. He's been going through a lot, even his best friend moved away. Now that being said, a child that is feeling such hardships could begin to imagine his own world to escape his. And I can see that being the case for Oswald, as he's literally showing up at the same pizzeria every single day, eating the same pizza and bored out of his mind with nobody to play with. But does this...
That's depressing as hell. I'm not gonna lie, if I was sent to just keep playing at the same pizzeria, arcade machines, down. Ball pit, disgusting, filthy. And if I go inside, I go to another universe, you know how upset I would be? What? Life's already bad. Now I gotta go. What? Stop playing, man. My son Oswald was a trooper. That whole game, he did that whole thing. Saved his dad, saved the children. What? Boy, Oswald was a trooper.
Change the fact that he is literally losing his mind. Let's take a look at Oswald's room when he does make it back from Freddy's. Notice anything strange about it?
Oh, there's mad paintings. I didn't even notice that. Wait, look. On next to the mirror to the right, I think that's Spring Bonnie. And then look at all these. Nah.
Not only are there pictures of Freddy, Chica, Bonnie, and toys from FNAF, there's a picture of Godzilla on the wall. Alright, all jokes aside, there's something even creepier on his wall. If you look above his dresser, you'll notice what almost looks like Spring Bonnie inside of a picture. This picture...
Yo, Rexter, what's up, bro? That's literally what I just said. That's literally what I just said. Yo, you listening to me or something, man? This has to be recorded as we speak. It has to be live. This has to be live or something, bro. Cause why you out here taking my
is covered with sharp teeth and blood. This is not the type of picture that would normally be hanging on anybody's wall, not to mention a 10-year-old. And so, I believe it is Oswald slowly starting to lose his mind. Or in this case, a hallucination. And that's another thing that can be proven somewhere down the lines of the story. As when Oswald's in school, 2 times he's imagining something that isn't there. First, his teachers and all of his classmates turn into characters from Freddy's. And then further down the line, the entire school turns into endoskeletons and the gang from Freddy's again, which he eventually ends up freaking out, punching the Freddy-like character and running off. And I say all this without even mentioning that his mother never even sees his father looking like Spring Bonnie once.
That's what
so with those facts thrown on the table, I don't think it's necessarily too far off to say that Oswald has hallucinated this entire plot. His father doesn't even remember getting kidnapped at the end of the game. So
that was my main thing. Like, you telling me, like, that's how I knew something was up. You're telling me, hold on, let's rewind a few. Boom, perfect. You're telling me a hunched over mechanical bunnies, golden. He's bright, dangling over you. You're gonna tell me that you're just gonna bypass that, like it doesn't even exist. What? That's how I know my boy Oswald is going through it mentally. Because there is no way your dad, who is way more mature, way more, like, you know, he's going to notice these things. You're going to tell me that he doesn't see this? Bugging. There's no other way to put that.
At the end of the game. So could it be that Oswald jumped into the pit, hallucinated the entire event, and then came out unscathed and with his father?
Low-key, what if it just smelled so bad? Every time Oswald went in there, he just passed out and went to some euphoric type of landscape, and that's where he landed. Because they did say that ball pit was nasty as hell. So basically, if I was to go into some nasty ball pit and it smelled like straight foot and straight molasses, I'm not gonna lie, I'm passing out. I'm entering a different state. It's over. GG, say goodbye. There's nothing else I can do about it.
Now, I would believe this, except for the fact that at the end of the game, Jeff goes into the pizzeria, looks into the ball pit, and there is still a giant Spring Bonnie hanging from it. And when he goes up to it, well, you know what happens from there. So now the question is, how did Oswald become so infatuated with Freddy's? And that's where theory number 2 comes in. I think Oswald's dad is keeping something secret. Which brings me back to Oswald's room and a few other key details inside of the house. I mentioned earlier that he has multiple toys from Fazbear Entertainment, including the robot in the corner, the caterpillar, and the phone, which we've seen in a couple FNAF games by now. These were put here on purpose. These are definitely Easter eggs, but the biggest Easter egg of them all is the Freddy mask found inside of Oswald's house. Now, if we want to have fun with this theory, this Freddy mask is pretty important. A theory could be that Oswald's dad might have been the Freddy bully from back in the day. The timeline does add up after all. And with the Bonnie mask being thrown around in multiple games up until this point, I could see them making some type of bigger picture here. But if you put that aside for now, there's a few things that I do want to point out about this Freddy mask, and the fact that Oswald's dad could have been around Freddy's back in his day. For one, not only does Freddy's mask show up inside of Oswald's house, but Oswald's dad's name tag just says dad on it. I seriously doubt that Oswald's father walked around the mill with a name tag that said dad on it, unless he was everybody's poppy. So, that being said, why is this here, other than the fact that they don't want us to know his real name? These types of details in any FNAF game can't be taken for granted. There's always meaning behind objects. And with that being said, it brings me to 2 theories on Oswald's dad. The first we've already discussed as him being the Freddy bully, and the second one maybe even being more compelling, and that's Oswald's dad is actually Sammy Emily. Yes, this sounds crazy, but give me a bit of your time here. If you don't know, Sammy Emily is the twin brother of Charlotte Emily, the son of Henry. Sammy and Oswald's dad have a similar appearance, obviously excluding the age. For one, Oswald's dad also has brown hair and brown eyes, and sports his very telling blue shirt. Now, of course, this could be some type of coincidence, however, hear me out on this little detail. Along with the name tag, there are 4 other objects that Oswald's dad dropped throughout the game, and when you collect all 5, you get a picture, the same picture that gives you the good ending at the end of FNAF Into the Pit. Now, this picture sports 2 silhouettes that says who are they. These silhouettes are pretty obvious, one being obviously William Afton and the second one being Henry. Now, in some original files that some people on Reddit dug up, you can see that Henry was crossed out extra hard. And an amazing theory by a YouTuber called Alina's Woodlands points out that this could have been due to the resentment of Oswald's father toward his father Henry. This YouTuber also points out that Oswald's grandfather is never mentioned inside of the game at all, only his grandmother. There's not even a single photo of him around their house. However, there's photos of the grandmother holding Oswald as a baby. Now, this could be due to the animosity that Oswald's dad feels towards his original father. And seeing as out in the novels, he's given up to his mother, maybe he thinks that his father abandoned him along the way, thus not wanting anything to do with him. However, he still has ties towards Freddy's, seeing as his dad created the animatronics after all. And this could be why he has all this Freddy's memorabilia around the house, just not being able to let go of the memory of his father. And with all this information tying together, the fact that Oswald's dad's name is removed from the name tag, the photo that sent Spring Bonnie into a rage, and just so happens to have Henry extra crossed out on, is why I think that Oswald's father could actually be Sammy Emily, which means that Oswald's grandfather is the creator of these horrifying animatronics that he draws in his dreams. And you can say that Freddy's runs in his blood. But guys, that wraps up this video here, and as promised, we are going to be doing a giveaway for 3 codes to FNAF Into the Pit. And since you made it this far...
That was a fantastic video from Rexter. You guys let me know what y'all think about it in the comments section below. And if you guys like, let's have a, like goal of 20. Nah, I dragged it. 1. All I need is 1. All I need is 1. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share if you liked the video. And comment your favorite animatronic throughout the whole series. The whole series. I'm talking about Ultimate Custom Night. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 5, 32, all of that. Now you can also bring in the puppet. I don't know. You can bring in anybody. Pick somebody. Damn it.